Your life's predetermined path. Whoa, I mean, that's a heavy thought, isn't it? Let's dive right into this idea, because it really gets to the core of everything. The path of our lives. Are we the ones forging it, or are we just following a map that's already been drawn?
You know that feeling, right? Like life is just this constant uphill battle. You push, you shove, you try so hard, but it feels like you're fighting against some kind of invisible current, just struggling to make any headway. It is exhausting, and it really makes you stop and ask, why? Why is it so hard? And then, to make it worse, you look over at someone else, and they just seem to be gliding through life, right? Everything just kind of falls into place for them. Their journey looks so easy while you're over here on the path of struggle. So what's the deal? What is the real difference between these two? So, is it all just an unfair struggle? That's the big question, isn't it? Is it just dumb luck? Are some people blessed while others are, well, not? Or is there something deeper going on here? Some kind of underlying rule that explains all this? Well, today we're going to explore a pretty fascinating theory that tries to do just that.
And that theory is all about what it calls the predetermined timeline. Yeah, it sounds pretty wild, but it's actually based on a really simple, logical idea, cause and effect. And the big takeaway is that our path, it might already be set.
Okay, so it all boils down to this one word, causality. The logic is super simple. Think about it. If you see a tree, you know for a fact that a seed had to have been planted there at some point, right? You just can't have a tree without a seed. An effect always has a cause. Every single thing that happens is a result of something that happened before it. And this idea gets visualized in this really cool way. They call it a time cone. Look here, you've got the past event A, that's our seed, and it is the direct cause of the future event A prime, our tree. See that straight line connecting them? Well, according to this theory, that is your predetermined timeline.
So, wait a minute. If we take that logic all the way, does that mean that some event way back when set off a chain reaction that we're all stuck in, that we can't escape? And the answer this theory gives is, well, you see it right there. Amazingly, yes. It's a pretty mind-bending idea, right? That the entire script for our future was basically written by the past, locking us into one single unchangeable timeline.
And that's the bottom line. The future result of, well, any event is already decided. The destination is already plugged into the GPS, and according to this whole idea, we don't have any control to change the path. We're on the tracks, and that's that.
Okay, so if the path is fixed, what are we supposed to do? Just sit back and do nothing? Well, no. This is where it gets really interesting and practical, actually. It's not about trying to change your destination. You can't. It's about how you get there. It's the easy path versus the hard path, and it all comes down to whether you align with your timeline or you fight it tooth and nail. And this image just lays it out perfectly. On the left, that's the natural timeline. See how it's a straight shot? It's direct, it's efficient, it's easy. But then look at the right. That's the path of struggle. Now notice something really important. They both end up at the exact same spot. But man, that journey on the right is winding, it's hard, it's full of all these unnecessary detours. And how you feel on each of these paths. Totally different worlds. When you're on that natural timeline, things feel good. There's happiness, peace, prosperity. It's literally the path of least resistance. But when you're resisting your timeline, that's where all the bad stuff comes in. Grief, anguish, pain, sorrow. You're constantly fighting that current, and it just wears you down. So the message here is actually pretty simple. If you can find and just walk your correct natural path, your journey will, as they say, full of flowers. It'll be beautiful. But if you don't, or worse, if you actively fight against it, then all those difficulties you're facing, you're the one creating them. And that leads to this, wow, this is a really powerful quote. It is your fault that you tried to stop what was meant to happen. Oof, that kind of stings, right? But the idea is that our suffering doesn't come from some cruel fate. It comes from us, from trying to stop something that was always going to happen anyway. The struggle is literally self-inflicted. And here's the real kicker. You can't even change the final destination. No matter how much you struggle, nature, the universe, whatever you want to call it, is always going to push you back onto your original path. It's like trying to swim upstream in a powerful river. You're going to get tired, you're going to suffer, and eventually the river's going to win and carry you downstream anyway. The only thing your resistance does is make the journey miserable,
by throwing a bunch of hurdles in your own way.
So if what we did in the past creates our future, well, this connects directly to a really ancient and powerful idea, the law of karma, right? In this way of thinking, your actions are never just actions. They are the seeds you're planting for your own future.
And it really doesn't get any simpler or more direct than this. You will face what you did, period. That's the essence of karma. It's not some cosmic judge handing out punishments or rewards. It's just a law, like gravity. It's an unavoidable law of consequence. The results are baked right into the actions themselves.
And this philosophy gets boiled down into these little nuggets of wisdom we've all heard before. Do good and good will happen. Makes sense. If you do wrong, wrong will happen. Yep. It even applies to your thoughts. Think good, it will be good. But my favorite has to be this last one. The one who digs a pit for others falls into it himself. I mean, that's just a perfect metaphor for how we end up creating our own path of struggle, isn't it? This whole concept is pretty much what we call the butterfly effect today. You know, the idea that some tiny event, like a butterfly flapping its wings, can set off a chain reaction that leads to something huge and intense way down the road. Every little thing we do, every choice we make, it's a seed being planted. All right, so if our destination is already set, and our actions create our path, what in the world are we supposed to do about it? How do we find that natural flow, that path of flowers? Well, the answer is kind of surprising. It's not about staring at the future and trying to figure out your destination. The key is to bring all of your focus right here to the present moment.
So how do you actually do that? It breaks down into 3 simple steps. Step 1, flow. Just go with it. Accept what's happening instead of fighting it all the time. Step 2, do good and do your best in the present. Pour all your energy into what's right in front of you, right now, and stop worrying about the outcome. And step 3, let go. Trust that if you do those first 2 things, that golden chain of events, as they call it, will just form all by itself.
And the argument here is that this is the real secret of super successful people. They're not obsessing over some 5-year plan or some far-off target. They are obsessed with being excellent right now in this very moment. Success isn't the goal they're chasing. It's just a natural, almost unavoidable result of how they handle the present.
So this whole idea leaves us with a really big question to chew on. According to this theory, your final destination is fixed. It was set in stone by a chain of cause and effect that started a long time ago. But your experience of getting there, whether it's a struggle or it's easy, whether it's full of pain or full of peace, that part is all about how you handle the here and now. So it makes you wonder, which part of your life do you actually control? The destination or the journey?